Greetings. My name is Haywood Lewis, and this is a PowerPoint presentation of the five dysfunctions of a team. So the business environment of Decision Tech. 2 years before, it was a very high-profile company. They had very experienced executives, also very expensive executives. They had an indestructible business plan and top-tier investors, a great recruiting process, and they were also a very professional technology company. Moving on to now. Now they have many ongoing disappointments. Many employees are missing critical deadlines. Employees are quitting. The morale is deteriorated. Backstabbing of a lot of executives. No unity or commitment. And it was voted most political and unpleasant places to work in the Silicon Valley. Catherine Peterson, she is the newly appointed CEO of Decision Tech. She's 57 years of age. She's basically an old school, blue-collar executive. She does things the old way. She has experience in many different fields: military, automobile, low technology companies. And it was very different to the culture in Decision Tech because a lot of Decision Tech employees were very young. They had no really real experience working outside of the area or in different industries. Catherine had no real high-tech experience. Now, for her hiring, the chairman, he thought good things about her. He also had good instincts about people. The company was in a desperate situation, so they needed a leader, and they need a leader now. And the chairman thought Catherine would be a good candidate because he already knew her on the personal level from her husband being a coach. So what was a perfect fit for Catherine was she had an amazing gift for building teams. For the first 2 weeks, Catherine did nothing but observe the company and how they function. She went to meetings, she talked to different staff members, but most importantly, she listened. Many employees, also the chairman, they basically second-guessed her for not doing nothing in her 2 weeks. The only thing she did in her 2 weeks was announce a retreat of 2-day retreats. Well, basically, she announced a series of 2-day executive retreats. The first challenge she got was basically getting all the executives to be present for on-site retreats. Martin, one of her executives, felt like a potential sales opportunity was more important than being at the actual retreat, but she shut that down very quickly. Catherine wanted to present at the off-site retreat because it was critical for her team building exercises. She had an ultimate goal she wanted them to understand. The main reason they were there was to retrieve results. Catherine identified the lack of trust by creating a pyramid and then explaining how the lack of debates and conflicts symbolized the lack of trust of one another. The moment with Martin, basically Martin is using his laptop during the meeting, and Catherine explains that that is a distracting and he should put it away while meeting so no one else will be distracted and everyone will be focused. Underachieving. This section basically explains how Decision Tech operated before and with Catherine. During this time, Catherine wondered if she took the job. Wondered why she took the job because of how dysfunctional the company was. She met with staff and figured out their specific titles and duties. She revealed her 2 weeks observation, and some of those observations was decisions that never got seen to be made. Discussions were very slow and interesting, and everyone seemed eager for each meeting to end. The next section, lighting the fire. Lighting the Fire basically describes her first test with Martin and how she told him to put away his laptop during meetings. She describes her reason for having the on-site retreats. Her keys was to make the collective ego greater than the individual ones, to define the goals, the results in a way that is simple enough to grasp and specific enough to be actionable. Everyone adopting a set of common goals and measurements and then actually using them to make collective decisions on a daily basis. Another key was in order to provoke real change in the group, honest resistance was needed. So she needed everyone to be honest and willing to speak. The most reasonable people don't have to get their way in the discussion. They just need to be heard and to know that their input was considered and responded to. The heavy lifting basically just describes her second off-site retreats. JR quits because he didn't believe the team, and he was a high profile. He was a high profile executive, and he didn't want to fail. The key to this was to basically hold people accountable. Some executives get defensive, some get intimidated, but basically saying that conflicts were actually good for the overall being of the company. Attractions. She basically discovered all 5 of the dysfunctions of the team. It was not a little. If it's not a little uncomfortable, then it's not real. The key is to keep doing it anyway. She wanted the team to get used to being uncomfortable. Once they got used to that, they started beginning to realize how valuable each and every one of them was to the team. Jeff grew, helped close a big deal to help them. Their sales and revenue grew. Also, Mikey was fired, and the team was finally functioning properly. So overcoming each of the 5 dysfunctions, an absence of trust required shared experience over time, multiple instances of follow-through and credibility, and in-depth understanding of the unique attributes of team members. The next one, fear of conflict. Acknowledging that conflict is productive and also demonstrate restraint when their people engage in conflict and allow resolution to occur naturally. Next one is a lack of commitment. Basically, to overcome that, you need clarity and buy-in. 2 of the greatest causes of lack of commitment are the desire for consensus and the need for certainty. The next one is avoidance of accountability, courage and allow the team to serve as the first and primarily accountable mechanism. And the last one, inattention to details, making results clear and rewarding only those behaviors and actions that contribute to those results. Basically, these are my lessons learned. The first lesson I learned is that conflict is not always bad. I always thought that conflict could to be a bad thing, but after reading this book, I feel otherwise. Conflict can be used as a measuring stick for productive teams. The more conflict, the better. Conflicts help you understand that teammates actually care. The second lesson I learned is observation is very essential in building a team. As a leader, one must not act, but watch and listen. Observation will help you figure out your advantages and disadvantages. Observation will help you find the root of problems within the team. Observations will help your team get results. Thank you.